Well, portal season is officially off and running with OU softball. Tia Milloy, the first name to enter the transfer portal, or at least announce that she will enter the transfer portal. She does that on Monday afternoon. She says, quote, "After much consideration, I have decided to enter the transfer portal with 2 years of eligibility left. I will leave Norman with countless memories and a family for life. Thank you to my teammates and coaches, and thank you, Sooner Nation, for 2 amazing seasons." Tia Milloy, first name, announces her intentions to enter the transfer portal. I can't sit here and say that I'm necessarily shocked about this news, and I'm going to guess most of you are joining me in that. And I say that respectfully because I think Tia Milloy is a good softball player. It was just always going to be difficult for her to break into the lineup consistently in Oklahoma. And that's been the case for a lot of really good softball players. Just couldn't find her place every single day in the lineup. And you kind of look at next year. Ella Parker played a ton of right field this year. She's going to be back. Kai Minor played a ton of center field. She's going to be back as well. There will be a battle for one of those corner outfield spots. But Tia Milloy was just kind of always in a log jam with a lot of really other good players. And they've got more talent even coming in. So not necessarily surprised by this. But at the same time, like I said, I think she was a fantastic teammate. By all accounts, she was. And I think that she's a good softball player that will go somewhere else, get a lot of playing time with 2 years of eligibility left, and really contribute for a power program that's out there. Now, I can't sit here and tell you today who the short list of teams are where Tia Milloy will go. I will tell you this. At a Slices with Sooners event earlier in the season, she had mentioned that her mentality coming out of the state of Washington, she was a very, very high recruited prospect, is that, her family has an incredible background at Washington. Mom, dad, sister played at Washington at a high level, did incredible things. Of course, her sister Kiki did great things at Tennessee. And she kind of wanted to blaze her own path and do her own thing. And Oklahoma was a good spot for her to do that. So maybe she goes back to Washington. I don't know. But I do think Tia Milloy is going to have a lot of really good options out there. And I think that there's a lot of power programs that are going to be interested in Tia Milloy upcoming for the 2027 season. But 5 starts this past year. I believe it was 11 the season before. And, she had moments where, she looked good. Hit some home runs, hit balls in the gap, made some nice plays defensively. But a lot of those at-bats she was getting, it wasn't in the premier games. And when you saw her in SEC games or you saw her in the postseason, it was primarily as a pinch runner. So, best of luck to Tia. I, again, got to hear her speak in front of some other OU fans and came away really impressed. Awesome kid, a kid that you definitely want to root for. And I think this is just a classic situation of, my guess would be is that Tia doesn't hold any ill will towards OU or the coaching staff or the program or anything. She just wants to go play softball somewhere. And I think that you got to respect that and tip your cap to, how much and what her involvement was over the past couple of years and still being that good teammate that she was. She wants to go find a new home. She wants to go find more playing time. And I say all the best of luck to her. And I'm just not going to be surprised at all if we look up next season and say, hey, Tia Milloy had a really good year. Just unfortunately felt like it probably wasn't going to happen at OU, especially with as much offensive, defensive production they have coming back next year. So we'll see if there are any names to follow in the coming days. But I do find it interesting that Tia announced, right around 24 hours or so after the last game was played. So maybe this wasn't a surprising thing necessarily, and maybe this has been the plan for a few weeks or so. I don't know. Anyway, best of luck to Tia Milloy. All the best to her. Think she'll be a fantastic softball player somewhere else. And we'll keep monitoring the transfer portal, what's going on. I'll let you know the latest. If I certainly hear anything, I'll pass that along to you guys. But the offseason is here, and it doesn't feel good. I don't already like talking about the offseason with the Women's College World Series coming up. But offseason is in full effect, and we'll be monitoring it throughout. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget Cavens Group. Put their number in your phone so when disaster strikes, you don't have to think. You just call Cavens. 405-573-3048. That's 405-573-3048.